Hi friends, and welcome to Perkasie Patchwork Coffeehouse. I'm Rob Yoder. We're so glad that you decided to join us on this Saturday night. We're pre-recording this concert at Morningstar Studios. They have a great setup there, and we have a great engineer with Dave Schonauer. The Coffeehouse is a community outreach of Perkasie Mennonite Church, and I know we'd all like to be there at Perkasie Mennonite in the fellowship hall, laughing and visiting together. But right now, obviously, we can't do that because of COVID-19. So please stay safe out there, whatever you do. We have a great lineup for you this evening. Our feature act is PYRENESIA, a quartet from New Jersey. They play gypsy jazz music, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them as I have. First up, we have Norm Williams, who's a mountain dulcimer player and teacher. He plays several other instruments as well. He'll sing for us and play his unique instruments. I also want to remind you to donate what you can to these fine musicians. You'll find the donate button in the comments. So without further ado, here's Norm Williams.
Lord, help the poor and needy in this land. Lord, help the poor and needy in this land. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, Lord, help the poor and needy in this land. Lord, help the sinner man in this land. Lord, help the sinner man in this land. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, Lord, help the sinner man in this land. Lord, help the preacher man in this land. Lord, help the preacher man in this land. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, Lord, help the preacher man in this land. Lord, help the politicians in this land. Lord, help the politicians in this land. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, help the politicians in this land. Lord, help the poor and needy in this land. Lord, help the poor and needy in this land. Will I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun? Lord, help the the poor and needy in this land. Well, good evening. I'm Norm Williams. This is the Perkasie Patchwork Coffeehouse, and I am just so pleased to be here tonight. That tune was called Lord Help the Poor and Needy, and it's an old mountain gospel tune from deep down in the Appalachian Mountains. One of the places and sources that I get much of my material. This next little tune's a tune that I learned from a good friend and my mountain dulcimer mentor, Don Petty. He lives down in the Asheville, North Carolina area, actually a little bit north in Marshall. And he put out a series of albums, and one of them was called The Little Tunes of the Southern Appalachians. I'm going to do a couple from the tunes that I learned from Don, but this tune is called Jake Leg, and I'm just making sure that I'm in tune, because if I don't tune, you'll care. Jake Leg is a reference to a neurological malady that was noticed first in the early 1930s, toward the end of Prohibition. As you know, moonshine was pretty common, and smuggled or bootlegged liquor was also fairly common during the Prohibition era. And bootleggers would try various ways to get around the restrictions that the government put on them. The government had their revenuers, their government men who went out trying to stop the bootleggers, and so it was quite an adventurous time, at least if you say so in the movies. But one of the methods that was used to get around the bootleggers was smuggling rum, a specific kind of rum called Jake. It's actually ginger rum, from Jamaica, and so it had that nickname Jake. And the revenuers caught on pretty quick. It was made in a paste form, and the revenuers caught on pretty quick to this and were stopping shipments. So the bootleg community, if you will, hired some chemists to try to solve this problem, and the chemists did by inserting a particular chemical that would help to mask what this was and make it seem like it wasn't alcohol. The only problem was it was a neurotoxin. And so the neurotoxin's in the liquor gets distributed, people drink it, and all of a sudden, a number of cases of paralysis of both the arm and the leg were occurring. It became known as Jake Leg thanks to a couple of blues musicians from the southern city areas where folks were drinking the liquor. Well, the story's longer than the tune, but this is called Jake Leg, and it's just a little tune. and that's called the Jake leg, and you may have noticed that there was an unusual cadence in the song, and that is related to the way especially people would walk who had this paralysis, the Jake leg. And I guess I want to keep this dulcimer with me right here. This is a tune I learned many, many years ago. Comes from North Carolina also. It's called Pretty Little Girl with a Blue Dress On. And I guess this goes out to my granddaughter, who turns 12 yesterday, or Thursday the 12th. Pretty little girl with a blue dress on stole my heart and away she's gone. Stole my heart and away she's gone. Stole my heart and away she's gone. Play that fiddle now, play it slow. I'm gonna dance with Calico. I'm gonna dance with Calico. I'm gonna dance with Calico. Play that fiddle now, play it low. I'll take a walk with Calico. I'll take a walk with Calico. I'll take a walk with Calico. Cornstalk fiddle and a shoestring bow. I'm going home with Calico. I'm going home with Calico. I'm going home with Calico. And pretty little girl with a blue dress on stole my heart and away she's gone. Stole my heart and away she's gone. Stole my heart and away she's gone. Pretty little girl with a blue dress on. This is a base mountain dulcimer. As you can see, it was built by a good friend, Gordon Allum, who now lives down in Florida. He used to live over in the Quakertown area in Applesbackville. And the wood from the instrument came from trees on his farm. The sound holes are made with walnut and hickory nuts and cut and fitted in. And it has a rather nice sound that I really like. This tune also comes from a set of tunes from North Carolina, and it's based on a bluegrass tune called "In the Pines." It's close. And when I first heard it, I thought, well, that's not the "In the Pines" that I know. I've heard lots of versions, but I've not heard anything like this. And so this tune is called "In the Pines," and it's very melancholy, but it kind of fits November. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and and I shiver where the cold winds blow. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and I shiver where the cold winds blow. Now if you say that I'm not right, I will take you there tonight, to the place where the cold winds blow. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and I shiver where the cold winds blow. Honey, if you say so, I will railroad no more. I'll sidetrack my cars and go home. To the pines, where the sun never shines, and I shiver where the cold winds blow. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and I shiver where the cold winds blow. In the Pines. Great tune by the banjo player D. Hicks, who lived almost on the North Carolina border, on the South Carolina border in North Carolina. Good stuff. This is a modern mountain dulcimer. It's got this nice false bottom on it, which some call possum, or possum board. And this next tune's a tune that it's a very old tune. It's found in the child ballads, but I learned this particular version from Aubrey Atwater, who lives up in Rhode Island. And it's a song about parting. It's a song pretty much about parting and about love, called The Blackest Crow. The blackest crow that e'er did fly would surely turn to white If ever I prove false to you, bright day would turn to night. Bright day would turn to night, my love. The elements would moan. If ever I prove false to you, the seas would rage and burn. I wish my heart were made of glass, wherein you might behold that there your name was writ, my dear, in letters made of gold, in letters made of gold, my love. Believe me when I say you are the only one for me until my dying day. The blackest crow that e'er did fly would surely turn to night. If ever I prove false to you, bright day would turn to night. Bright day would turn to night, my love. The elements would moan. If ever I prove false to you, the seas would rage and burn. The Blackest Crow. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to Perkasie Patchwork Coffeehouse for inviting me and for allowing me to play. It's a real privilege and I appreciate it. I thank the board and the folks at Perkasie Mennonite Church who sponsor the coffeehouse. If you're watching, please take the time to donate and support this ministry of Perkasie Mennonite Church, the Perkasie Patchwork Coffeehouse. I want to thank in particular Cliff Cole and Rob Yoder, who are tremendous friends and encouragers and responsible in large part for what goes on with the coffeehouse. So I appreciate that. And I also want to thank Morningstar Studios and Dave Schonauer in particular, who is the tech guy today and also doing the video. Appreciate that. At any rate, I did a recording a few years ago, a solo recording, and a few a cappella pieces. This is the title track called Wayfaring Stranger. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. But there's no sickness, toil, nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there no more to roam. I am just going over Jordan. I am just going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is rough and steep, but golden fields lie out before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam. I am just going over Jordan. I am just going over home. I'll soon be free from every trial, my body resting in the old churchyard. I'll drop this cross of self-denial and enter on that great reward. I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going there no more to roam. I am just going over Jordan. I am just going over home. I'm going there to see my Savior, to sing his praises evermore. Thank you. Here's yet another dulcimer. It's built by Warren May down in Berea, Kentucky. Warren's been building dulcimers for well over 50 years, and this is just a pretty little dulcimer, all walnut. Really just a sweet, sweet instrument. All these instruments were tuned a little differently today, but the relationship's kind of the same in terms of notes, just different keys. This is a tune that I think I first heard Gene Ritchie do it. Gene Ritchie brought the dulcimer really to the States. She was in the States. She brought it to the modern world from out of the Kentucky Appalachian region. Well, she's sort of like the grandmother of the dulcimer community today, where there are thousands of people playing these instruments. But also, I heard Tim O'Brien do a version of it using the dulcimer, and that impressed me, and have done it with the band Wayfarers and Company. Christ was born in Bethlehem. This is what I call a hymn for all seasons. Christ was born in Bethlehem. Christ was born in Bethlehem. Christ was born in Bethlehem, and in a manger lay. And in a manger lay. And in a manger lay. Christ was born in Bethlehem. men they crucified him. The men they crucified him. The men they crucified him. They nailed him to the cross. They nailed him to the cross. They nailed him to the cross. The men they crucified him. They nailed him to the cross. Then Joseph begged his body. Joseph begged his body. Joseph begged his body. He laid him in the tomb. He laid him in the tomb. He laid him in the tomb. Joseph begged his body. He laid him in the tomb. The tomb, it could not hold him. The tomb, it could not hold him. The tomb, it could not hold him. He burst the bands of death. He burst the bands of death. He burst the bands of death. The tomb, it could not hold him. He burst the bands of death. Christ was born in Bethlehem. Christ was born in Bethlehem. Christ was born in Bethlehem, and in a manger lay. Christ was born in Bethlehem. A great old Southern Appalachian tune. Well, I want to once again say thank you to Perkasie Patchwork Coffeehouse and the folks who run it. It's been running for many, many years with many, many fine folks, and it's a privilege to sit here, although virtual, and come to you with music. This is the last tune I'm going to do. Have a great band coming up, and hope you stick around. This is a tune that I wrote many, many years ago. It's about relationships, and with all that we're going through these days, I'm sure this can speak to that as well. It's amazing to me how we live and we breathe together in this world He has made. We sound just like mad folks, sometimes act like bad jokes, as daily His light grows and fades. And sometimes it looks like we came out of books that were written for some faraway time. but committed we stand here to work hard and plan here that our lives might flow into rhyme. Well, you know that it's true, I am me, you are you, I believe that He made us to be. And He gives us this song, and He guides us along to live it in close harmony. And although you and I don't always see eye to eye, He lends His Spirit to lead us in peace. He gives His strength to uphold us, His grace to unfold us, that His love in us might increase. Though the days might be lonely, the road rough and rocky, His presence gives light for our way. And we'll sing out His praises for this grace that amazes. He brought us all here. He's calmed all our fear. He's promised He's near. So place our lives in His care. Thank you, and good night.
A big thanks to Norm for his wonderful music. I'm sure he can hear your applause through the ether. Next up, we have PYRENESIA, and I know you're going to enjoy them. So, here's PYRENESIA.
Well, we are PYRENESIA. We are very excited to be playing for you this evening. A lot of concerts have been canceled, but not this one. That first song was called New Skies. It was written by a composer named Tony Kovac. He also happens to be our accordion player.
Thank you.
This next song we're going to play is called Lupa Dorada. It's one that I wrote, and I named it for my beloved German Shepherd, who unfortunately we had to put down a little over a month ago, so sorry to bring everyone down, but it's a very, very happy song because dogs bring us happiness. So here's Lupa Dorada. The next song was written by a composer named Alan Rigoletto. He happens to be our guitar player. This is called Missing the Moon. He's allowed to demask for this one because he's singing.
You get to see my face for this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Cultures are swirling in a helix of hunger, and I'm feeling hungry too. Warm air is rising, the whole world is sighing, but I'm still missing the moon. The morning light shines brightly on the flowers in full bloom. But where are the visions of surreal indecision? Oh, I'm still missing the moon. Oh, I'm still missing the moon.
Still missing.
Hung on its curtain of night, shining down on the dreamers, the wise ones, the fools.
Still missing.
Forever singing its tune. Pulls at the ocean, it pulls on my spirit, tugging without any string. It's mystery glowing before the dawn, like the sun shining on raven's wings. A sliver of magic that hangs on the shadows, like the haunting call of the loon. Trapped in a trance during waking life, I'm staring up, missing the moon. Oh, I'm still missing the moon.
Still missing.
Hung on its curtain of night, shining down on the dreamers, the wise ones, the fools.
Still missing.
Forever singing its tune. Adrift on a blue sky, smiling on the radiant gold of the day. Perpetual motion meets windy devotion as the radiance fades into gray. It takes these hours with eyes open wide for the secrets to slowly unfurl. My mind is doing a primal dance while my soul does a celestial twirl. Oh, I'm still missing the moon.
Still missing.
Hung on its curtain of night, shining down on the dreamers, the wise ones, the fools.
Still missing.
Forever singing its tune. Oh, I'm still missing the moon. Hung on its curtain of night, shining down on the dreamers, the wise ones, the fools.
Still missing.
Forever singing its tune. Oh, I'm still missing the moon.
Still missing.
Hung on its curtain of night, shining down on the dreamers, the wise ones, the fools.
Still missing.
Forever singing its tune.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. And thank you to Perkasie Patchwork Coffeehouse for making this possible. There were so many people I was in touch with for so long. Rob is here, Cliff, Rosie, Norm, thank you all so much. Thank you to Dave, who's running sound for us. We are, again, very happy to be here. We have a world premiere for you right now. This is called The Dance of the Waxwing. This was written by a composer named Daniel Manchester, and he happens to be our bass player.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, well, that last song like I said, was a world premiere. This one is one of the first songs we started playing, actually, I think, what,
Oh,
five,
yeah.
5 years ago? It's been a while, so it's an oldie but goodie, and we love playing it. This is called Defiance. All right, well, we're going to slow it down a little bit. This is a traditional Romani tune called Chavo. In COVID, you never get used to not having an audience when you're playing a show. You just never get used to it. So we hope you are hanging in there with us, having a good time, enjoying all of this music. We've been playing mainly original songs. This is another original one that I wrote. Right now it's called C Minor Song because we haven't come up with a better title, but if, as you're listening, something comes to mind, the song speaks to you and gives you a title, please feel free to reach out to us, send us a comment. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. We have an email address. It's PYRENESIA@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Well, we have a couple more tunes for you. This next one is also an original by Alan Rigoletto, our guitar player. And while he's tuning, I just wanted to plug our CD that we put out about a year and a half ago. It's called Offbeat Symphony. We worked really hard on it, and if you like this music, we would love for you to check it out. You can find it on Bandcamp, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, I think, wherever you find your music, all your spots, or if you would like a physical CD, I still listen to CDs, I like the sound quality, you can just reach out to us and we will mail you one. So this song, well, do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, this song is about a crazy night I had in Sweden back in 2012. So it's funny because I keep counting the years and that night keeps getting further away, but I decided to immortalize it in a tune. So this is called Wolves on the Balcony. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now strangers, the strangest folk I know, they come, they get real friendly, then they go. As the moments fly, those fleeting tides might fade in many ways, but faces always carry weight like stone. Yeah, faces always carry weight like stone. They smooth the path so all roads lead to home. To pave the way from night to days, to be part of the pack, no need to shout out to the clouds all on your own. There's wolves out on the balcony, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? There's one way to show them, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? I waited on the dock of northern night, steeped in rooftop Scandic social life. Deep in the den, it's tough to tend to time's rapid pace, but I've never seen the sun up at this time. Yeah, I've never seen the sun up at this time. A whole life's gone since the moment we arrived. Lights and sounds and bang hounds all raising their call, unaided by the faded pale moonshine. There's wolves out on the balcony, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? There's one way to show them, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? There's no telling where you'll go. You'll hit the ground if you're not kind enough to mind your step, while the wiser ones stare safely with their hardened gaze. We look out at the rabble down below. Yeah, look out at the rabble down below. There's beasts roaming the streets out in the cold. They snarl and gnash their teeth, their eyes grow wilder with time, while up above we wail at morning's flow. There's wolves out on the balcony, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? There's one way to show them, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? There's wolves out on the balcony, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep? There's one way to show them, so come along and howl with me on and on. Who all decided that we have to go to sleep?
All right, well, we have one more song for you. Thanks again to everyone at Perkasie Patchwork for making this happen. Thank you to our engineer, Dave, for all your work. Thanks for Rob up there filming. And one last time, that's Daniel Manchester on the upright bass. I can hear the roaring round of applause. It's deafening. That's Alan Rigoletto on the guitar and singing. That's Anthony Kovach. You can tell who he is because his accordion says Tony. And my name is Daniela Fischetti, and we are PYRENESIA. thanks again, everyone. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure playing for you.
Be safe.
Wasn't that great? I hope you enjoyed PYRENESIA as much as I did. Don't forget to donate if you haven't already. Donate whatever you can. And be safe out there. I hope you enjoyed the concert. Check our Facebook page for updates. We may have some more virtual concerts coming up in the early next year. And hopefully soon we'll be able to get back together in person. So have a great evening. Have a great holiday season. And we'll see you.